which were supposedly all wiped out, what is to stop them from getting humans to recreate their abominations? What is to stop them from bringing in a new breed of giants? God can restrict them, yes, but what is to stop them from getting man to do their dirty work, especially with the tech we have today? I have a feeling that we are going to start hearing this acronym UFO a lot more often than before. But at first, it will be all the same old stuff. Old testimonies, declassified documents, things you and I have seen and heard before. We have seen ex-government workers that have come forward to talk about the technologies that were being worked on decades ago. Compartmentalization. You hear them talk about anti-gravity technology that any one engineer or scientist could not figure out. And I'm going to tell you all this now. The small handful of people who run these secret operations, the few who are not compartmentalized, they know how the technology works. They just want people who are more qualified to build this technology for them. The secret is witchcraft. Now, although that may sound unscientific, it is very scientific.
What the heck?
And it is the science of these fallen angels. They are the aliens. They're not from Earth.
Amen.
Because if you know anything about cherubim, they come in different forms. Some have wings, some don't. Some are huge, some are small.
Some are Morgellons.
We really have no idea of how many there are. But some believe it's in the millions. Thanks to certain texts, like the Book of Enoch, we have a very close idea of how many came down to follow the angels down from Mount Hermon. But we don't know how many fell with Satan. It just says a third. People keep taking paranormal activities, separating them as if they are phenomenal. Ghosts, black-eyed children, werewolves, Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens, demons, poltergeists. Basically anything that could be put into the monster category, that's them. Why do you think these occurrences happen so close in time and location of each other? That's just my theory on all this. The gods of Egypt, Sumeria, ancient China, Japan, India, the ancient gods of the Americas, ancient Greece, are all expected to make a comeback. And they are expected to make a comeback by several super powerful people who absolutely believe in these gods. People are going to see some things that will shock and frighten them almost to death. And these beings will come acting as our saviors. And when people start bowing down to them, they're going to have them by the balls. Let me ask you all a question. If aliens did show up, if they just one day showed up in the sky with a massive fleet of spacecraft, would you trust those beings? Would you trust anyone who made it a priority to hide from you, only to come and try to take care of you all of a sudden? You know, these days when a new UFO is captured on video and released, I don't even bother watching it. Just another bunch of blurry crap. I mean, we get it. We all know what UFOs look like. They're blurry. If it's clear, it's a fake. But anything blurry is definitely a UFO, with aliens inside. Now I'm being facetious, but the real concern is having such technology and using it as a means to dominate other people. This is why world governments don't want everyone to have nukes, because they simply don't trust them. I think Bob Lazar said it best when he said something like, you can't let gravity technology fall into the wrong hands because next, it's force field technology, and that would make someone unstoppable. And they would be able to impose their will upon anyone. Now I think, after all these years, they have reached a level of mastery with the technology that they can now use it for practical purposes.
Oh, they've mastered just a little bit more than that, let me tell you.
I'm talking about the stuff that is described in ancient scriptures like the Book of Revelation. And all this tech they are working on, the underground bases, the interstellar travel technology, CERN, HARP, they are trying to save themselves. But here's the problem. None of that stuff is going to matter. It may buy them some time, but eventually they will have to face what God has already put into motion. And no flying saucer or underground bunker is going to save them. And if they think they can team up with the devil and fight God as a last-ditch effort, the devil himself knows that's not going to happen.
Amen.
But he has no problem sending you all out to fight for him while he just sits back and laughs at you. It is totally understood that some of you just don't believe in the Holy Scriptures or the majority of these ancient texts. You stand solely on the side of concrete facts and data, and I get it. But guess what? Those who govern us, they do believe in the ancient texts.
Yeah, they wrote your
And everything
concrete.
that they do is based on that. They still worship the dragon, which is probably the oldest of all religious practices. I have other videos where I get more into the technology of these UFO craft. They have to be designed in certain shapes with specific elements. The positioning of the interior components must be properly aligned, and the ritual must be properly executed to complete the spell. I know you're probably laughing. I'm not kidding. Why do you think CERN is set up the way it's set up? The positioning of the buildings, the Shiva statue, Tesla technology, nuclear reactors. You think people just figured that stuff out, don't you? We will see how this all unfolds. Keep your eyes open, folks. Keep yourselves up to date and aware. And don't be fooled. Most people don't know who the devil is because they can't recognize him.
Amen. You hit it right again, buddy. The devil's here now. He's everywhere. He's doing some really bad things, let me tell you.